Well, welcome everybody to another series. Just to quickly reflect, the last time we met together, we had Kevin Sherman, who did something on managing your emails. Today, we've got a wonderful gentleman all the way out from Pretoria. We've got Mr. Temba Skosana. Temba, can you just greet the audience first, please?
Thank you very much, Isetsi. Appreciate that. Hello, everybody, wherever you guys are at. Warm greetings from this side of Pretoria. And I must say, very interesting to see my colleague's background. Isetsi, where on earth are you?
Listen, man, because now everything is on the cloud and we are currently working so well with our schools. I'm in the Eastern Cape. I'm sitting outside of Queen's College. They're also going Google. They want to know everything about Google Forms. I was sitting in an interesting meeting and I said to them, you know what? You need to catch this series of forms, because what they want to know is they want to bring out the best out of their students by ensuring that they're using the right tools. So I said to them, I've got the best person to do this. So Mr. Temba Skosana, can you please tell us today, what are we going to be doing? Why are we here? What is this thing that we are doing today?
Amazing. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, just proves to you how amazing this platform is, that we are all over this world, all over the country, and being able to meet together. So today we are all in for a good treat to where everybody will get reformed with Google Forms. I will be unpacking a couple of things about how one can utilize the built-in features of Forms, and then as well as at the end, looking at add-ons that will absolutely maximize the functionality of Google Forms. And so before we actually jump right into it, just a little bit about us, ladies and gentlemen. I am the HTech evangelist from the Cloud EDU, and we are a premier Google for Education partner company, and we have worked with so many schools right across the country, and we are absolutely moving also a little bit abroad. And what we've done is we've offered professional development and training in regards to the Google Workspace platform, and as well as helping schools identify their HTech vision and strategy. And with that also, we happen to be the top resellers of Chromebooks within South Africa. And so we would really love to hear from you guys. But with that said, I hope that you guys are all strapped in, and we are about to jump right into the first part of getting reformed with Google Forms. And so the first thing that we're going to be looking into is unlinking your Google Forms sheet responses. And some of you might be thinking, well, what would be the reason behind unlinking and linking Google Forms? So what I've done so far is I've gone ahead and I've actually hyperlinked my slide. And in here, I've actually had my form hyperlinked in that image there, and it's going to open up a new tab for us. And so I've prepared this form, and this is just your normal sports orientation week signups that I've just set up quickly, and let people just fill it in for me. And in this case, what you would have, and if you'll see nicely right here in the middle of my form, are a couple of responses. So in your responses, you would have your Google Sheet Forms responses that are linked to your form. And so with that, we'll pivot over to this button here. And when you click on that button, ladies and gentlemen, it actually then opens up your Sheets responses. And so once your sheet responses has opened up, you will have a timestamp on the left-hand side. And so you have a lot of data that we have actually that you will see. And basically what happens is that you would want to reuse this form for a next sports week orientation sign up cycle, maybe happening in the next term, or even in the next year. And maybe also you're thinking, I would not want to have all my data in one place. I would actually want to separate my sheets. And so the good thing is, the first step that one would have to then do is head over to the three dots on the top right corner. Let me just try and zoom in a little tad bit for you guys. The three dots there. And when you click on there, you will have quite a lot of options, a drop-down menu that you're provided with. But I want to bring your attention to this particular option where it says unlink your form. So remember that any sheets that is linked to the form itself when new data comes in, that sheet is then automatically updated. But once you unlink it, and then there won't be a flow from the form into the sheet. And so I'll just head over and click on that, get a disclaimer there letting you know that remember that you won't be able to have any data won't be flowing through from the form to the sheet. So head over and click the unlink button. And now that you've gone and unlinked that, now I will then decide, hey, with these responses that I have, I want to clean up these responses so that I may reuse the form again. And so I will head over back to the three dots, and I'll pivot over to this option at the bottom that says delete all responses. And then what this does is when I've gone ahead, I'll get another disclaimer again there and making sure that this action will not be able to be undone again. So I'll go ahead and confirm that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a clean form. And so with this clean form, what's amazing is that even though I have deleted my form's responses, I still have the responses sheet with that information that I have collected. And so what would then happen, ladies and gentlemen, going forward is that you will then receive another cohort of responses coming in. And once those responses have then have come in, you will then pivot over to this button here, the Google Sheets icon, green square with the white cross in there. And when you select that, you will then get this specific interface that pops up. Now, let me quickly explain what this then really means. Because we initially, whenever you are accessing your first response sheet, you will then get this pop up, and you'll click on the create option, and then that's where you will land where we were previously at. But now, because we've unlinked the form now once again has to go and then give you an option to create a new spreadsheet. Now, what's amazing is that you also get another option to select an existing spreadsheet. And this is when you would want to maybe populate another spreadsheet using the same format you have, and then you can link that with an existing spreadsheet. But in this case, because you want to keep your data separated, you will then have the previous sheet that you had, and you'll head over and create your new sheet for the next new cohort that you will then be sending out that form for them to fill in. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the unlinking and linking of your form, and the reasons behind that, just to help you understand why you would want to go ahead and unlink and link your forms. And then going forward, ladies and gentlemen, the next part that we're going to be looking into is adding media. Now, this is where the fun really does begin, because we've come to realize that adding a little bit of more graphical view or a visuality to your form really does add to the value of how your students interact with your material and your data, keeping up a very lively and fun atmosphere, just creating that very good learning conducive environment for your students, and also just making sure that whenever you are depicting and displaying your content, that there is visual relevance to it. And so we're going to be looking into different ways on how to add media, and as well as how quick and easy it is to add some YouTube videos to your forum. And so I'm going to click on that button again, and what's amazing, it opens up another tab, so I can go ahead and close all these other tabs of my forum. And then now I have my form in front of me. When what I can do is, if I want to go ahead and add an image maybe to this besides the banner that I have, maybe just an image on this form, what you'll see is that there are 3 ways on how one can add imagery to your form. And so the first one that I'm going to quickly just bring your attention to is this generic one that is part of your form. It is actually like a basic image that you can add into your form. It's not added next to maybe multiple choice questions or added as a image on its own in its own sectional question way, but it's actually embedded within the question. So if I have to go and select this icon right here, I can either then go and browse on my device, or what I love always to do is just heading over to the Google image search option. So I'm going to go ahead, add an image here, and let's say we add a hello image there. And when I add the hello image there, I can just grab one here, and let's grab this one right here. And this is our speech bubble. And once I added this image, I would like to just bring your attention to show you how it is then being added to my form. So we went there, we selected an image, and now that the image is inserted, there are the three dots there. When I click on those three dots, quite a couple of things that I can actually do. I can go in and align in the center, align to the left-hand side. I can even change this if I want to. And one awesome thing is I can even add a caption there as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's aligned in the center. But what's amazing is that the size is quite big. And so if that really bothers you, just select on the image and you will see these blue squares on either side of the image. And that's where, you'll be able to go and add resize your image. And so that's the first way on how to add an image. Now, the second part that I'd like to show is the following. And if I have to go let's head over to this section right here, to this particular question here, where we have the interest of the sport types. So here we have athletics, soccer, rugby, cricket, swimming. And if you see when I pivot and I hover my mouse over these options, there is this icon, image icon on the right hand side, just hovering along with me. And when I hover over it, it says add image. So remember, this is the second way on how you can add imagery to your form. So here we're going to go and we're going to click on the add image option. And when we click on that, we're going to pivot over back again to Google image search. I love this. So at this point, we're going to go and search for athletics. Athletics, there we go. And then it's going to give us some search results on athletics there. So I can grab one right here. Actually, let's grab this one. It's a much more nicer one there. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other sport types. So once again, quite easy way to add those. You search for what you want to add there, and that's a very good one there. And let's just add one more under rugby, just so that you guys can see that one more time. So we head over to our option, and this also applies, ladies and gentlemen, to check boxes and as well as multiple choice questions as well. And so I'm going to head over back there. And if I'm correct, this one should be rugby. There we go. And let's grab the first one that we see there. And so now we've added images to our options. And then with that, that's basically how you can go ahead and add now images next to your options, ladies and gentlemen. And so now we're going to be looking at the third way of adding images. So we are still at images, not yet by videos. And what's amazing is that I will then pivot over to a certain section. And on the right-hand side, we have what we call this floating bar. So on this floating bar, there's also an image icon. And once again, you might be thinking, Timber, okay, well, if I put my mouse right here, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see on my screen that there are 3 image icons. So this is the first one that we've explored. And this is the second option that we just finished exploring as well. And this will be the third one that we're going to look at. Now, please note that if you've used forms long enough and you're quite an experienced user, you'll see that the floating bar, whenever we click on the first section, it then actually adds a question to your form. So just as much as it adds a question to the form, with this icon, the image icon is also added, is that also adds an image, but as a section on its own as well, which means that when you add an image from the floating bar, it's not included in your previous question. It is actually all independent. So I'm going to head over and click on that icon right there. And then let's go and search for a sports image. So let's go to and put in sports day. There we go. And just going to formulate a very quick question here. And we're going to actually take this image here. And then this is now a normal sports image of students partaking in a certain sports event here. And if I go over to this question, to the section here, I can say, look at the image below, and answer the questions that follow. There we go. And so here I'm going to head over, and then now I can add a new question that then obviously follows after the image is provided. Once again, I can go back to the image, resize this lovely photo here. If I click outside of the image, then I'm given the option where the three dots are given. Always remember, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you see the three dots, that just means more hidden goodness. And so I can go ahead and center align that for us. And then I can go and ask a question and say, identify the sport type in the image above. There we go. And I can actually give them, let's say, a short answer question, because you don't want to give them options. It makes it a bit easier, or a little bit more challenging whenever they have to maybe identify. So they'll then study the image that is given below, and then they'll answer the question that is the image above, and answer the question below. Alrighty, and there are your three ways, ladies and gentlemen, on how to add an emoji. So just to recap quickly, once again, when you want to add an image, if I have to use this second question as an example, this image icon here, ladies and gentlemen, embeds your image right in the middle, right next to your type of the type of question that you are asking. In this case is a short answer question. And then you can also, if you have multiple choice question options here or check boxes, you then also can add images. So there's the other image icon that you can add there. By clicking that, this will be the result. Right next to your option will be your included image. And then the last part is when you head over to your floating bar, you are then able to, when you click on the image icon in the floating bar, that will then give you an option to add an image that is independent on its own, not linked to a question. And you can go ahead and add some questions or set it up the way you'd want to. And then the last part that we're going to be doing with the media adding in Google Forms is the video. So I'm going to go ahead, and as we all know, YouTube is really a powerful resource hub for teaching and learning. And so if you go over to that button and you click on there, you can now go and search either the name or even using the URL. So I'm going to just say Sports Day here. And when I click on Sports Day, I'll be given then options on a lot of options there to look at. So if I head over and I want to add, let's say, Peppa Pig's Sports Day, which is actually very cute. And if I had to add that video in there, ladies and gentlemen, you will see then I've added my video. I can go and centralize it. And I can just say, watch the video below. All right. And that's just a very good way to show you how one can add images and media to your form. Alrighty, great stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head back to our presentation once again, and I hope that you guys are absolutely finding a lot of worth in this. And now the next thing that I would like to really show you, which is absolutely amazing, is this amazing add-on, ladies and gentlemen, that is called Form-Limiter. So it all depends on what you are busy with, whether it be a project or whether it be sign-ups or registrations or an interest form or evaluation form, whatever it may be. But you want to go and manage the capacity of your form. So let's quickly set up the scene. You're doing a registration for an event happening at your school or with parents, etc., colleagues as well. Then what you will do is you will then set up your form, and you will then add this form limiter. So at this moment, my awesome colleague will actually add in the chat icon for you guys. He'll go ahead and add a link to you that will send you to the Chrome Web Store, where you'll be able to add this add-on, this extension to your Chrome. And so basically how it works is after you've added your form, all right. After you've added your form, you will then see an icon on the top right corner. I'm just waiting for my form to fully load. There it is. Once you've added the extension to your Chrome, on the top right corner, ladies and gentlemen, you will see the button for add-ons. Now, this section, what it actually, this button just shows you the add-ons that you've added to your form, and I've added the form limiter. And once again, as mentioned, setting up the stage is you want to manage the responses coming in. And when I click on the form limiter, this will happen. I'll get an option that says set limit, and this is where it gets very fun and interesting. The form limiter gives you two ways on how you can manage your sign up, the number and the capacity. And you can either select the option and the limit type to a time and date, or even the number of form responses, and as well as spreadsheet style values. But I'll definitely be focusing on these two. So basically, if there's a deadline, ladies and gentlemen, then you can set up the deadline. So for instance, today is, if it was now Monday, I would then send out the form on a Monday and say, hey guys, I'm giving you guys 2 weeks or a week, and give them a due date and a due time. And then you mention that, hey, by the time when the due date or the close date of the registration arrives, the form will then be closed. Now, to show you how one can then use the number of form responses as well, that is when you're going at a capacity limit. And instead of a due date, you want to give them a capacity. This is more when you're saying, hey, there are 10 slots left for you to sign up for this event, or to sign up for maybe an excursion or whatever it may be. And that's when you will then go ahead and execute the number of formed responses. So if it is a date and time, I'll click on there, and let me just zoom in a tad bit there for you guys. And you'll be able to see that I can select the date. So I can go ahead and say, let's make it Monday for the 8th of August there. And also maybe a time, and let's make it 12. Let's add let me just put a 12. There's a 12. There we go. 12 p.m. And I can go ahead and set. And what's amazing is once the form has reached capacity, you will then get a message that says this form is no longer accepting responses and has been set to automatically close and has been set to automatically be closed by myself. And then you'll see that an email from the owner when submissions are closed, I will receive an email as well. So that is just the amazing way to add that limit there, ladies and gentlemen. And then you can go ahead, hit the save and enable button, and then that will put that into action. And what's amazing as well, ladies and gentlemen, is that whenever someone does go and fill in your form, you also will get a notification for that once you enable the form notification option there. And then if we go back to the limit style and we actually look at the number of forms responses, in this case, I will again select on that. And what's amazing is, once again, this is at capacity and not on a time or a date. So then you will go and here you'll say, it says stop accepting form responses when responses are greater than. And so we recently did an amazing, we recently had an amazing master classes level 1 here at Cloud EDU. And we had our signups. And I remember setting up that forum, and I remember putting up a capacity of up to 50 because we love having, our smaller groups. And so I will then go and add in 50 there. And once again, once that 50 number is reached, then the forum will automatically be closed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I really do hope that, especially for our admin staff and as well as our sport teaching staff, not sport teaching, but our coaches that are teachers that actually need a tool that will help them maybe create teams and create like sign up forms, etc. This is a very powerful tool that you can enforce within your forums going ahead. And you can just go ahead and hit the save and enable button there, and then it will then put that into action. And the amazing thing, as mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, that you'll be able to get notifications each and every single time that there is a response that is given. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is our session for today. Are there any questions? I don't know, Setu, are there any questions that you might have seen in the chat there for me?
I don't have any questions from the audience currently, Temba, but I've got a question for you.
Yes.
So how do I, as an educator, so I'm teaching mathematics or I'm teaching any other subject. So how do I use my own? So I don't want to use a YouTube video, but I want to record myself and I want to upload my own video. Because I want to put it as part of a question or maybe part of one of the answers. Is that something that is possible, or can I only embed videos from YouTube?
What that is actually possible. So the first thing that you'll want to do is go ahead and actually upload your video onto Drive. And once you've uploaded your video onto Drive, it still has a URL link that is linked to it. And so what one can do is that you can go from your Drive and get the link or the URL link of your video from Drive, and then head over into the video section of adding a video to your forum. And then the section where it gives you the URL part, that's where you can just insert that URL link and hit the enter button. And that should actually then be able to then add that video to your form.
Oh, because I've been hearing about the flipped classroom, and I keep on hearing all of these new terminologies, blended learning. And I was quite interested in trying to figure out if I can just record myself and just put my recording onto a form, then send it out to my students. So that before they come to my class, they probably could watch a video of myself, and then maybe we can have a classroom engagement. So you've just given me something, because I thought maybe you can only just put stuff that already exists somewhere, either on YouTube or maybe a picture that is somewhere sitting on the internet. So you're telling me that I can actually upload my personalized videos or my personalized images?
Absolutely. With the option to browse within the section whenever you click on the button. So I'm going to go ahead and just show that to you. When one goes ahead and wants to add another image. So let's go ahead and we want to add an image to which grade are you in? When I click on that button there, you will see that it actually gives me, once again, an option to upload, to use my camera. So I can even take a photo immediately by URL or your Google Photos or even your Google Drive or even then your Google image search. But the best option here is your browse. And that is exactly what you're asking to go, hey, I have a personal picture that I've created myself or designed. I want to add that to my forum. You can absolutely do that. But now with that said, also, I said to one thing that we do encourage to all of our teachers is that the Google platform, the Google Workspace platform, and in the educational domains, and you are granted up to 5,000 terabyte of storage, and that is amazing. And so the best practice would be to make sure first that instead of wanting to browse, obviously when you're on the go and you're creating something, that makes sense to kind of quickly browse something from your laptop or from a stick or a hard drive and upload that. But the best practice would be that every single content that you have, why don't you go ahead and upload that into your drive? Then once It is safe, it is secure, and most importantly, it is accessible. Because maybe you're using on another device and you want to add that image into your Google form, but you come to realize it's not on that laptop. So the best thing would be to make sure that you can go ahead and add that to your drive, which will then be accessible whenever you want to use it in your Google form.
Absolutely. Temba, you've just made my day. And I'm sure the audience out there are also quite excited to try out these features because, at times we want to query the knowledge of the students, and sometimes you don't really know where they're at. But right now we can actually customize and make testing quite fun with these nice multimedia images, whether it's a picture or a video. Now I know how to limit how many people are either accessing the quiz or the date at which they can access it until. Man, I'm super, super happy. But thank you so much, Temba, and I'm grateful for this session. I can't wait until next week's session or rather the next session, which will be talking about Google Sheets. And I look forward to that session with you again, Puti.
Absolutely. And then it will be led by my awesome colleague Esetu. So I'm also actually kind of very excited to hear what he will be bringing to the table to us. But with that said, gentlemen, thank you so much, Esetu, for your questions. Thank you for your engagement there. And also, gentlemen, we would love to hear from you. So please do reach out to us. We will be adding that link into the chat again for you guys to just reach out to us and also see what kind of professional development offerings we have to give to you and to also discuss. And we would love to see where your journey is at and how we can be able to help you become an amazing educational technological school in your area. All right. With that said, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. As we will sometimes would say, flight, my story is 8.
I like it. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everyone. See you next time.